Hey, Shafali, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Yeah, of course. Looking forward to this.
Yay. So I would love to hear what drew you to work with Angie.
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we got our puppy, I knew right away that I wanted to do a shoot with him to remember that stage because they grow up so fast. So we had done a bunch of research to find pet photographers in the Bay Area, somebody who was knowledgeable about working with pets because they can be really challenging even when you're not trying to take a picture of them. And so we did a bunch of research and looked at a bunch of portfolios. And what really stood out about Angie's work is it felt really fresh. Um, and whereas um, some families may be looking for that standard family portrait. We wanted that too, but we were more so really trying to capture his essence, his energy, his puppiness, and just like the craziness that was that time period. And looking at her work, you could really feel the energy and the emotion and of the different families and the puppies and the older dogs that she was working with. And it also seemed like from her work, she had experience with a variety of locations. And so that was really important to us as well because we had a particular location in mind. So it was pretty clear after comparing portfolios that she was going to be able to capture our puppy and who he actually is. And that's really what we wanted from the session.
Oh, that's so lovely. And you did a second session with her, right?
Yes, we did. So, and that worked out really nicely. We went to a beach, and it's really cool to see because he's changed so much, obviously, from the first session that we did together, and just to have Angie there to recognize that milestone. And it really feels like she's part of his journey and our journey as a family because she was there with us in the very beginning, and she's so good at keeping in touch and saying happy holidays and having tidbits in her newsletters and then reaching out again. And so it really feels like we were constantly or often in touch with her. And so it's just so nice to have people on your team and your family that really know you and care about you.
Oh my gosh, for sure. And you kind of already mentioned this, but I'd just love to hear what was your favorite part about working with Angie?
Um, well, something that blew me away is that I think she's even more of a perfectionist than I am. And saying that is a big deal. If my husband was here, he would have that reaction as well. Um, she just takes it so seriously. She really cares about the session. She really wants you to love the photos. Like that's her biggest goal, rather than, oh, check the box. This is the contract. This is what I said I would do, and you should be happy enough. That's totally not her attitude about it. And so when we first reached out to her, we told her that we wanted to shoot at Stanford. She was like, great idea. I actually haven't been there before. So let me come out before your session and like on a separate day and scope it out, and we can meet for the first time. And I can also get to know your dog. And we can figure out what types of shots you're looking for, what type of day would make sense, what the crowd is like, what type of tools I might need for the actual session. So even that was amazing that she was willing to do so much legwork in advance. And then obviously the session itself is acrobatic, right? She's like on her stomach, she's got like two cameras with her, she's got the light, she's like doing all the stuff, and all we're doing is like smiling, like and then after the session too, she took editing the pictures so seriously. And honestly, she was seeing things in the pictures that even we couldn't detect, but she was so serious about having them be perfect, and the color saturation, everything. You could tell she was just thinking about everything to a different degree, on another level. And it really wasn't because of our urging. It's something that's within her. She just wants the picture to be to her standards, and she's willing to do as many rounds as it takes for you to be happy with it. And I think just to have that kind of commitment and follow through is really hard to find from anybody.
Oh my gosh, yes, completely. Well, so You love how she got the images, but how did you feel seeing the images after the session?
Oh, that's a special album. So my husband and I, we've done like lots of pictures because, we got married and we were on our honeymoon. So we've kind of, we know what to expect. And but I will say like that's a really special album. When you look at that album, there's so much variety in the types of shots that she got. She got the family photos, she got the ones of him running, and she got the ones of him like licking all over our faces, and she got ones where he's like photo bombing the Hoover Tower, and she got like ones that could be in a college campus brochure. She got like whiteout shots and close-in shots. She got them all. And so when you go through the album, it's like each picture stands on its own. Whereas sometimes, when we in our experience, when we've had professional photography done, there's like series of pictures and you're like, oh yeah, this is when we were sitting, and then there are like five that kind of look the same, and then one of the five you like, and then there's like a next little series. And I would say with her pictures, there's so much variety. Each one stands on its own. Each one is doing something unique, both from a photography technique perspective and also like capturing him. He's a long dog, he's a sausage dog, so she did really fun things capturing that. So that's, even though that was taken 2 years ago, I kid you not, his photos are still like on our lock screen on our phones, and like we set the Google Photos album to be on our TV screensaver, so we still see them every single day.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, so you made an album, or you had an album created, you have the images on your phone. Did you do anything else with the images?
Yeah, and then the pictures were so good, they were like art, so we are like, okay, what do we do? We definitely want to, the world needs to see these are adorable, right? And so we ended up picking two pictures that we thought paired well together, and we blew them up. So I think they're like 4.5 feet tall, which is like honestly as big as I am. And they're side by side, and we got them printed on these acrylic mount frames that are gorgeous. And so when you walk into our house, like you can't miss it. Like it's like the centerpiece basically of the house. You see these two pictures side to side, and they're statement pieces. And then it's really also funny because then you look around the rest of the house and there's no other pictures. We just didn't get around to it for other things. And so but it's fitting because really it's Bondi's house, and when you come, and when anyone comes over, they can see that.
Oh, yes, I can totally see that. I picture that. Oh, well, thanks so much for sharing with me. Is there anything else you want to share with me about working with Angie or your experience?
I mean, she's fantastic. If you have the opportunity to work with her, she's great with dogs and pets on set, on location. She's great at her tips and tricks to hide the leash, or to get them to look at the camera. So when you're with her, you can be confident that she's gonna get the shot. Actually, during our session, it started raining, and so obviously plans were changed, and how much time we changed, and she was still able to get all the shots. She's such a perfectionist that she's going to make sure that your vision comes to life. So I think that's the advice I would have, is if you have a chance to work with Angie, go for it, and think about what you want to do with the pictures afterwards, because they're going to be special. Of
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to share that with me. I really appreciate it.
course.